Okay, our next lesson in our 3D house start to finish Revit training is the align command. We're going to put some dimensions on, and we're also going to go in and tag some of our doors and windows. So just moving over here into Revit, the first thing I noticed at the end of the last lesson was my second floor had accidentally been moved off of its proper location. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to click on this, I'm going to say move. I'm going to grab the corner of that and move it over to my reference planes. And let's just, I need to move that stair with it. That's what I need to do. So I'm going to click on there, use my control button, click on the stair as well. Then I'm going to say move, and then I'm going to grab that point, move it over to there, you see. And that's because we locked that stair to that opening. So we needed, we didn't lock the opening to the, locked the opening to the stair, not the stair to the opening. So the opening will move with the stair. Now, so we had to just do that as a fix-up. Then we're going to go down here to the main floor plan, and I'm going to turn off my topographic, my plants, and in my visibility I'm going to go into here and I'm going to say I don't need to see plants, and I don't need to see topography, which is fine, and I don't need to see site information on my first floor plan, so I can hit OK on that. I just wanted to have a look at that. Now we'll just move to the, just to show you a little bit about the alignment command. I'm going to go down here to, no, in fact, let's switch over to our north view, and inside of here what I'm going to do is align, show you how you can use the align command here, which I haven't been using at this point. In fact, I think I will zoom in just a little closer here. I could also turn off these walls and if it got too busy, so I align, and now I have this alignment tool, and it looks for edges in any direction. And what I can do is I can say, okay, that's my source alignment, and now I can go down to here, for instance, and click on this edge, and it'll move that window from here over to there, at which point I can also lock it. It gives them the opportunity here to lock that. Okay, now that that's locked, if I was to take this window, for instance, and we can align in different ways, and do a standard move command, I could pick a point and move it in this direction by 6 inches, and of course that bottom window will move with it because it was aligned and locked. Okay, you can also align and lock in a horizontal position. If I go back to my main floor plan here, we can go in here and I can say, oh, well, I want to align that dining room wall with this wall over here, or vice versa. So I can say, okay, align, this is the source, and I want that to align with it. Okay, that's going to move on over. And then I can have the opportunity as well to lock that. Okay. Now when I move this wall, you can be sure that this wall here is going to follow it. Okay. We can also go into a section and use alignment in sections as well. Very good way to have all your walls line up with each other. I'm going to double click on this section here. And once we have this section in here, now we can go in, for instance, zoom in, have a closer look at this, and if I wanted to, I could go in now and I could say align this with this, and then I could lock it. Okay, so when one wall moves, the other wall is going to move with it. Okay, that starts to come in pretty handy when you've got structural walls that are all above each other. You're going to want to go in and you're going to want to go cut little sections everywhere, basically, and really get to know how to use this align and locking tool, because it can really help you out. in a lot of ways. Okay, for horizontal alignment, vertical alignment, you can go into any cross section. I'm just going to do a ZE for zoom extents in here, and I'm sure you can see the power when you start getting into details and vertical alignments, when you can get in nice and close here, and you can use that alignment tool to grab an edge, for instance, somewhere along here, and align that with another edge and then lock it in. Okay, now you have to be careful as well, because the more constraints you put on, the less flexible your model becomes. The main thing is you're going to want to read your error messages as they may come around from that. So we want to use our alignment and locking, and I'm just going to go down back to my main floor here and start to put a few dimensions on. So I'll go to my basics tab here, and I'll just grab my dimension command, and with my dimension command I'm going to zoom in a little closer here, and then I'll pan around. Okay, I can grab, now when I go to dimension, okay, predetermined wall center lines, okay, you can pick your edge that you want to use. This is our dimension style in here. And also when you get in and you are dimensioning, you can use your tab button to tab between the various surfaces, okay, in that wall. Okay, so we want to really, I want to turn on my reference planes again. So I'm going to go back into here because I do want to see my reference planes. Back to annotation, into here, reference planes, turn them on, hit OK, come on out. And then I can start to do my dimensions again. So let's go dimension, and I'll pick a point there. Now as I go to this next partition, again, I can tab between the different surfaces of that object. I'm just going to go to center here, and I'm going to go to the next one, center. And now this one I'm going to go to the witness line, or the reference plane. I'm going to place that dimension up in there. Okay, so there's a string of dimensions, and now further to that I could do another dimension, and I could pick a dimension from there to there, put an overall dimension in. Okay, dimension to center of objects in this case. Start from there, reference plane, center line. Well, let's do windows here. Dimension from here to this. Finds the center of that window. Finds the center of that window. Finds the center of that door to there. Place. Okay. Another dimension from here to here. Okay. Dimension from here to the center, to the center, to the center, and now to there. Place. Okay. Now, perhaps I wanted these all equally spaced. There's a perfect example. Okay, I can click on here, and I can check the properties of that. And I'm going to look and see if I can change that right in here. I believe I could have done it on the fly. Let's just try that again to begin with. I think you can change it after the fact, but let's do it on the fly. Here to here. Place. And then we hit our equal. Okay, equal is going to equally space all those objects in there. Of course, in the elevations and in the plans. Okay, and then I can further lock those dimensions. Okay, I don't need to lock them. Now, right now it says EQ for equal in there. I can click on here. That's what I was thinking of. View into properties, and this is where we can go in and into visibility. I think it's a right click, properties, and there it is in here. Equal display. Do we want equal or do we want the value? Okay, hit OK, and now we have the value, although the equal is still in there. Okay, ZP for zoom previous. So with the dimensions, what I did was I did the equal on the fly, which I believe you have to do. And then after that, I clicked on my dimension. I did a right click, and I didn't do view properties. I did properties straight in here. And here we go here, equal display. Okay, if you wanted to say equal, right click. It's as easy as that. Okay, if there's a lock on a dimension, you can toggle the lock on or off. Okay, so this is kind of hidden in here. So right-clicking on a dimension and going into here, there's a couple extra options. You can re-edit witness lines, or I can go in now and I can relocate some lines. And in this case, they were equal, set to be equal, but right-clicking, edit witness lines. Okay, you can take that and you can add another line in there. Okay, if you want to break up your dimensions, which is really nice. Okay, so again, special location, right click and go in here. You get some different options. Okay. Now notice there's a difference between if I right click on the dimension line, I get some options. If I right click on the witness lines, these lines, I get different options. So that's kind of interesting, okay? Click on, depending on the component you click, will depend on what options you get up in here. So that's kind of interesting to know. Okay, interior dimensions work the same way. So we have our dimensioning in there. No problem with that at all. Maybe throw a couple more overall dimensions on here. Okay, something like that. Maybe a dimension for our garage. Looks like one of our dimensions or walls got moved here, doesn't it? Couple things have gotten moved. I wonder if that's moved on the second floor as well. I believe it has. Okay, so we have to maybe get into a little bit of cleanup in there, because our wall's not on our reference plane. But so we've got our dimensions in there. Right-clicking, changing the scale. If we go in and change our scale, our dimensions will update. Okay, if I go down to 1/8 of an inch equals 1 foot. Okay, this is where, and it zooms you out when you change your scale. But my numbers are now bigger, basically, on that scale. Now, because they've gotten bigger, they're also too close together. So I'd have to go in and grab these and pull these out a little bit if I change my scale. Okay, so view properties, beautiful in here. Change your scale. All of your annotation and your dimensions will update for you. It does zoom you out as well, so you don't get to stay in and see it, but there's your information there. Okay, last thing I'm going to do here is just go out and throw a few tags in here. Okay, now we're in the ground floor, and I'm just going to go put some tags in. I was on my Basics tab. I'm going to my Drafting tab. And inside of here, we just place a tag for a door or window. And Revit is smart enough to figure out which type of object it is, and it tags it accordingly. When you go to place your tag, you can place it with a leader line or without a leader line. You can control the spacing, and you can load additional tags over here. So I'm just going to go around and tag all these doors. Door numbers, maybe even tag my garage door, and that's in there. And then now I'm just going to go around and tag windows. You can see how extremely quick and easy this is, and you can reload your tags and renumber them. Okay, we have a special command as well, and there's another one there. And we could go up to our second floor and tag those as well. Once you have a tag in, you can take it and move it to any location that you want. Okay, so there's just an example of of our tags, and probably again just grab these things and move them around to wherever you want them to be. Seem to line up. See how smoothly they do line up like that. Okay. When you click on this, these tags are smart enough to know how to line up. So that's just such a real treat. And you can renumber your tag in here if you want. Okay, manual. Okay, nothing wrong with that at all. So that's those tags. Okay, I've just noticed a couple of, I've noticed a little cleanup things here along the way, so I'll just do that before I move on to anything else. So I'm going to go to my underside of footing garage layer, which was my foundation plan, and I notice that it's not, this wall still needs to be moved back, but the footing and stuff isn't looking properly. I'm going to go into right click and view properties in here, and what it is in visibility, I've got, now that I've done my site plan, I've got my site and topographic information, which is wrapping around the outside of that building, and I need to disable that right there. Okay, so we just wanted to have a look at that, and that concludes our lesson 7 with the alignment command, dimensions and tagging for our 3D house start to finish in Revit software.